Hello there everyone, what is up? Alien Dinosaur Hunter here, and today I've got some very special and interesting gameplay for you all. Today I am playing as the Feathered Raptor. Special thanks goes to my friend Baller, or Magic Man as he now calls himself these days. He managed to come across someone who had a code, and I think it was its last one too, and he gave that code to me. Thank you so much. I've been wanting this Feathered Raptor skin for a while. I've tried a lot of things to get a hold of it, and I was only like a few days off from getting it while it was still a pre-order bonus. So thank you again so much, Baller, for obtaining me a code. And one interesting thing you're going to take note on this gameplay here, guys, is I do not pounce once. This is how I like to play Raptor these days. I like to get in and play hack and slash. I pretty much don't even press mouse 2 anymore. And also, this is just a little something you could probably expect from most Raptor players these days. They pounce a little bit less and they try to get in, run all around you, and slice you up to bits. Even though there's still quite a bit of pouncing in the game, but oh well. Today I am here to talk to you guys about patch 1.3. I did mention in the last video that I was going to cover you guys on all the details, on all the changes they added to the game. So first off, we're going to start with the general game changes. As in, these are changes that pretty much affect the performance of the game all around. We'll be covering all the stuff about the classes later in the video. But here, as we can see on our first thing on our list, one of the biggest things they've changed for this game is map optimization. They improved it to where people who had the really bad computers or laptops can now run the game a lot better. In fact, my buddy Glitch Hunter, who is known for having one of these bad laptops, hopped on the game the other day and he said that the game played a lot better than he last played it. And because of this all-around better map optimization, it means that the FPS lag on Marsh has been fixed, but however, that doesn't save it from being a complete piece of shit map. Alright, I know a lot of people love that map. I personally ain't a big fan of it. I think that map is far more dino dominant than Forest Chasm is, but who knows, maybe the devs might tweak that map around a little bit to where humans would have more of a fair advantage against the dinosaurs, but oh well. I don't like the map. If you guys like it, fine, cool, but for me, nah, I'd rather play other maps. And speaking of other maps, some of them actually got their lighting rebuilt. They are now lit very differently than what you guys saw them in my videos. The two maps with very notable rebuilt lighting is Airbase and The Falls. Also, two other maps need their lighting rebuild, and those two maps are Marsh and Downpour. They're probably going to make the maps look far prettier than what they already did with the new lighting. But the new lighting on Airbase and The Falls actually make the maps a lot easier to play on. You can actually see some portion of the maps a lot better. Actually, Falls in some areas seem really dark, hard to see, but overall you can now see some of the things on both those maps a lot easier. But I personally still had to up the brightness on this video just so you guys can see the Feathered Raptor I'm playing as better. Next on our list, we see the jumping has been nerfed. You can no longer jump or hop around like you used to. You would have to wait for a delay before you can jump again. This is a nerf a lot of players, even pro players, complain about, but thankfully there are some servers that still allow the constant jumping. Two servers in particular I know are Raptors Party Hard and Party Carnage, but most other servers don't have it. But thankfully they added a little something for the humans in compensation of nerfing the jump. Stamina has been increased for all the human classes, so now you can sprint for far longer distances. This I find very helpful in case some people just so happen to spawn like halfway across the map away from the team. They now have a better chance of meeting back up with everyone, getting back into the fight. And yeah, this I find a very cool buff. And now onto a more serious addition to the game. They've now added a global ban system. This now means you can get reported on the forums and the devs will ban you from every server on the game. So please, play nice and be nice. Anyway, that just about covers all the general game changes. Now we'll be moving on to the nerfs and buffs of the classes, and we will start with the Raptor. He only got one nerf, and that is his pounce. It now needs directional view, not camera view, so you can no longer point your third-person camera at someone and successfully pounce them. The Raptor needs to look at the person to score a successful pounce. So, say you're walking to the left as a Raptor, he'll pounce to the left. So, in short, you have to make sure the Raptor player model is aligned perfectly with a human in order to score a successful pounce. Next up, we have the Dilo, and oh goodness, did he get it hard. His health has been reduced from 200 to 180, his spit has been removed, his poisonous bite has been removed, his long-range spits have been reduced from 3 to 2, and can only spit after roaring. This is hands down one of the most hardcore nerfs I've ever seen in a video game. I mean, I've seen some weapons, some classes, some of anything get nerfed pretty bad, but my God, is that harsh. And the reason behind these nerfs is because the devs want the Dilo to be played as a harasser class, not get in people's faces and chew them up style class. That's supposed to be Raptor and Carno's job. This class is pretty much supposed to be a rain on humans parade class. But even with those kind of nerfs, it's kind of tricky to even play it as that. I mean, I actually got to play a test build of 1.3 while it was in like its sort of beta stage, if you will, and they actually had the Dilo as a reasonable harasser class. He actually had 4 spits instead of 3 and 201 health instead of 200 because, well, I'll explain why they did the 201 health later, but they actually did give some buffs to the Dilo that are a little reasonable, but it doesn't save it from being what is now a almost garbage class. It got a stamina increase, which I found very helpful because I honestly thought Dilo for the time being had way too low of stamina for the kind of dinosaur it was. And while they did remove the poisonous bite, his bite will now cause a dizzy effect. It's kind of like tranking a human. But all in all, it's just not a good time right now for the Dilo, and hopefully we will get to see better performance as its harasser style role. I mean, I don't blame the developers for wanting to make a class play on how it's supposed to, but they could have at least done a slightly better job at making it do on what it's supposed to do. Moving on to the next class, we're going to talk about the Pteranodon, and honestly, they gave the Pteranodon something that is probably one of, if not arguably the best thing in this update. You can maintain some momentum when grabbing humans, so say you're flying super duper crazy fast and you happen to pick a human up off the ground, you will still maintain some of the speed you had before you picked the human up. So not only will you be able to grab him really fast and pull that single human away from a group, but you would also lift yourself fairly high above the ground into scoring a very fast, successful kill. I mean, I'm probably going to do another video on Pteranodon soon showing off the new grab, but once you guys see it, you will probably shit some bricks. Yeah. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about the Carno. Thankfully, the devs fixed him up a little bit, so now he's slightly more usable than he was in 1.2, but he will never be as awesome as he was in 1.1. He also got a stamina increase, and now his head swing does legit damage. However, it used to do 30 damage, now they've put it back to 20. It's something. I can't argue with that. At least they made the Carno a little bit more usable. However, they did add front armor to the Carno, which was supposed to make it so around the front portions of him, he can't take as much damage, so the strategy was to shoot it at its side, but that armor is currently broken. But oh well, hopefully they'll fix it soon, and maybe Carno would feel like as he did back in the good old days. Anyway, moving on to the next class, we're going to be talking about both T.rex and Spino. Both dinosaurs got added armor that pretty much make them immortal beings, and with this added armor, it also makes them more resistant to tranks. The Spinal's claw swipe is now an insta-kill, because before it took like maybe 2, maybe 3 swipes to kill a human. It probably did the same amount of damage as a Carno charge, but now it's an insta-kill, and both dinosaurs had their stomp radiuses reduced. Now, the reason why they added armor to both the Spino and the Rex is so maybe that new players would have a better chance as playing as these large tyrant dinosaurs and not get their butts beat in a 1v1 with like a Trapper or a Pyro. They pretty much now made the classes something to run from, not idiotically take head on, as badass as that sounds. But yeah. Gee, I'm almost out of time here, and I haven't even gotten on to some of the nerfs and buffs of the human classes, which that would be a perfect time to get onto, seeing how there isn't much changes to the humans, and I could probably wrap that up really quickly. So we'll start with the Commando. His initial accuracy has been increased, the hip fire from his gun has also been decreased, the minimal amount of accuracy has been decreased as well, and the rockets are supposedly fixed. I don't know whether to say if they are fixed or not. They didn't mention it. I didn't double check to see if the rockets were fixed or not. Supposedly they're fixed, but I don't know. Moving on to the Trapper. Now, he didn't get much changes himself, so we'll be able to get his stuff out of the way rather quickly. As we can see, the Ancient Trapper muzzles on the golden guns have been fixed, because before they were like really super duper bright. It made it a little hard to aim at dinosaurs. His nets fly faster now, making it easier to net Terras, Dilos, Raptors, and supposed new gun sounds. I don't know, they sound the same. Also, boy, I can't believe I forgot to mention this. The Trapper's nets are now fixed. They act screwy every once in a while, but now I can almost say for certain that they are fixed. For those who don't know, during 1.2, the Trapper's nets were awfully screwy. You can hit the easiest of easy nets, and the net just won't register. And oftentimes you would shoot a net on a hard-to-hit dinosaur, and it still won't register. And oftentimes you would have to shoot the same dinosaur again and again for it to finally, well, get netted. It would take sometimes 2, maybe 3 nets to nab a single dinosaur. I think it rarely happens in 1.3, but it may be us misinterpreting it as a hit when the game downright knows you missed them. But at least they work far more better than they did in 1.3 than they did 1.2. And lastly, we have the Scientist. Now, she's got quite a few changes herself, as you can see from the list here. Starting with her sniper's damage has been increased from 150 to 200. Her magazine for the sniper has been decreased from 7 to 6. The sniper's fire rate has also been decreased. The ammo count has been decreased from 42 to 36. The zoom has been reduced to ×1, but the developer said that is a temporary change depending on fan feedback. And supposedly, new sounds were added for the sniper and the train pistol, but honestly, again, they sound the same. And lastly, before I forget, the damage numbers are down. The devs are working on it to where they'd be a little more accurate, because honestly, they were super inaccurate in 1.2. But until then, we're just going to have to wait. But honestly, they were helpful either way, because they let us know if we hit something or not. And I'm going to end this gameplay off with a nice little victory roar as I go 20-3 /only Raptor. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this gameplay and commentary. Be sure to leave a like and comment down below. And comment down below if I just so happen to miss one piece of detail 1.3 had to offer, and I'll add it in the description later. But for now, this is Alien Dinosaur Hunter signing out. Peace!